Hey guys, so I got a question from a viewer asking me to talk about my thoughts on how you should be eating as far as we have one side of the story, which is like Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Body, where he says you need 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up, and he suggests that you get it from natural sources such as eggs and that sort of thing. If you can't do that, or if you don't want to do that, then instead going with some sort of, like whey protein or something like that, making sure you get it from a good source. And then there's the other side of the equation, which is like Elliot Hulse, who does his fasted walks in the morning. He doesn't get protein in within 30 minutes of waking up. He usually goes out in a fasted state and walks for about an hour. So which is right? Who's right? Who's wrong? This kid also wants to know how, or man, wants to know how we should go about, after workout. You hear that you need to get in protein 30 minutes after working out. That's when your body is most able and most ready for substance and really wants that protein, so we should put protein on our body quickly after workout. So I spoke with the registered dietitian at the Personal Training Institute. I needed a little bit of help for this particular problem. This isn't something that I have a lot of expertise in, but I asked him about it, and basically he asked me, well, what is the person's goals? And I said, well, I don't think that he's going to trying to get into professional bodybuilding anytime soon. He's just a guy who is looking for good results, looking for a good physique, wants to improve himself, but isn't particularly crazy about building, getting bigger, not particularly crazy about monitoring everything and writing down everything that he eats and looking at calories and everything, breaking everything down. So basically he said, it's fine. If you want to stay in a fasted state, if you want to just use your fat for energy. You might feel a little bit of a hunger pang. It's your body using fat, as long as it doesn't get too severe. Because usually if you wait, I've done this before, I actually tried fasting for a few days, just had some liquids, mostly vegetables, like kale. I would blend up kale and carrots and that sort of thing, and I'd still take my vitamins in the morning. But for the most part, I was just drinking fluids 3 times a day, and basically went on like a 3-day fast where I was just drinking fluids that were high in vitamins and minerals, low in nutrients, or low in calories, high in nutrients. And I experienced good results. I saw some of my fat come off, saw myself lean up a little bit, and maybe that's what you want to do. But basically what I'm trying to say is it's not necessary that you eat every 3 hours, or that the most important thing to me is the quality of calories that you put in. So when you decide that you're going to dedicate yourself to the process and maybe you want to try something for 6 weeks, I would recommend making a change a week, trying to get off of sugar, some of the more refined carbohydrates, like the complex carbohydrates such as bread, and watching your high calorie, you can follow like a diabetic plan. We all end up with some sort of insulin resistance. I'm sure everyone does before they die, and it's because we continue, and if we don't become diabetic, we at least develop some sort of insulin resistance because our body gets so much sugar coming in that our body eventually shuts down. So I want you to think about these things. Think about the quality of the calories that you're putting in your body. So if you're putting in 30 grams of protein after workout, that's great. But if you have a whey protein that it tastes really good because it's really high in dextrose and which might not be the worst, but maltodextrin and some of these sugars and some of these sugar additives, maybe it has low calories, well then you might want to look and see what everything is coming from. Like xanthan gum, for instance, is sometimes made from soy. Some of these little gums and lecithin and all this sort of thing don't come from the best sources. So eat food that is as pure as possible. Beans, nuts, legumes, and then lean meats like fish, lean meats like eggs, watching the sources where you get them from. If you have a farmer, if you know a farmer, someone who you can trust, try to get your eggs from the purest source possible. Try and get your honey organically if you decide that you like to ingest honey instead of some of the other sugar additives and some of the zero-calorie sweeteners and that sort of thing. I wouldn't recommend counting your calories. The nutritionist at the Personal Training Institute kind of explained that to me and said, like, well, you know, our bodies aren't just mathematical equations. They are dictated by hormonal processes. So if you want to improve your physique, I recommend maybe counting macros. There's a lot of abuse when it comes to macro counting. Everybody thinks that they can cheat every day, right, and pour ranch on everything. Oh, those are my fats, and your sugars, and your carbohydrates, right? I don't agree with that. I think that we should try to eat as pure as possible, eat more vegetables, eat higher quality meat, and then get some of the like flaxseed, get some chia seeds in. Even if you're a little bit miserable, you don't like the taste, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff, try to improve the quality of your food first. High fat dairy isn't necessarily all that bad. I do like organic whole milk, but I'll only have a little bit of it at a time. We actually don't have any in the refrigerator right now, so I'm not drinking it right now. But I do like organic whole milk. I do like whole cottage cheese. I have those things every once in a while, but most of the time it's lean meats, vegetables first, and some of the vegetables you haven't even heard of. Research vegetables. Just look at all of the different types of vegetables you haven't tried, you haven't had. Brussels sprouts are awesome. Any green vegetables, so spinach, kale, and you can steam kale, you can turn it into kale chips, you can do all kinds of stuff with it to try and get over that crappy taste. Actually, if your tongue ever feels like really nasty and you keep chewing gum and you can't get that taste out of your mouth, that like bad taste, chew on some kale. It will actually clean your palate. You'd be surprised. Your breath will taste much cleaner after ingesting kale. And then if you are taking in grains, try to limit your grain intake. Try to only take in whole grains if you can't give up grains completely, or just decrease the number of grains that you're taking in. Move towards the brown rice side of grains, away from the bread and the refined sugars and the flour and all that sort of thing. Oh yeah, and then watch your fruit intake. There's Paleo has different strategies, but I do occasionally go the eating fruit like every other day kind of strategy, because I started to see myself get a little pudgy through here, and I naturally hold weight there. I'm still doing that 28-day challenge that I was talking about. I'm still doing the ice baths and that sort of thing. I'll let you guys know how I do at the end of it. There were a few days where it was kind of rough, and I cheated a little bit over the weekends. So we'll see how my results end up. I still haven't checked myself, my bicep girth, chest, waist, anything like that, thighs. But I will let you guys know, and I'll make sure that I post that as soon as I finish with it. Alright guys, I hope I answered your questions. Please, if you have any questions, make sure that you send them to me. tonydavidmoore@gmail.com. You can also message me on Facebook Messenger. I have a lot of you as Facebook friends. Please invite people to this channel. If you think this channel shares great things, you benefit from it, send others my way. Like my Facebook page, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my Facebook page. Thanks for watching this videos, and stay tuned for more of Tony's Tips.